In C++, vector is a dynamic array, which means we don't need to specify the size of this. It can automatically resize it as per the elements. Like in array declaration, we type the data type, then array name and size of the array, but in vector we don't need that. For using vectors, first of all include the bit/standard C++.h header file, because the vector and all its components are declared in this header file, so make sure to include this header file. For declaring a vector, first we type the keyword vector, then lesson sign, and after that we need to give the data type of the vector. That means it's an integer or float or character or any other data type. I'm going to give it integer. After that, less than sign, and we need to give the vector a name. I'm going to give it this. That's how we declare a vector in C++. First the vector keyword, then the data type of the vector and the name of the vector. Now vector class has a variety of functions. Now we are going to look at it. So if we want to insert an element to the vector we created, we are going to use a function named pushback. Here's how you can do it. First vector name, then dot, then pushback and parenthesis. In the parenthesis we will give the element we want to push the vector. I'm gonna give 4. Remember, it must be an integer because we declared the vector type as an integer previously. It's slightly different from the array element insertion, where we declare the position like this: array name, then the index of the array, and then the value. By using the pushback function, we can only push an element to the last of the vector. We can specify the index by using the insert function, which I will show later in the video. Now I'm gonna run this, but nothing will show up as we are not printing the vector. So printing a vector is as same as printing an array. We are going to write a simple for loop for this work. As you can see, I have used a function named size. The work of this function is to return how many elements there are in the vector. As we have pushed one element in the vector, then the vector size will be 1. I'm gonna run this. As you can see, it is printing 4. That means 4 has been successfully inserted to the vector. Now I have pushed more elements to the vector. I'm gonna run this now. As you can see, it is printing the elements in the console. Now if you want to insert an element at a particular index, then you have to use the insert function. First vector name, then dot, after that insert function. In the parenthesis we have to give 2 parameters, that is index and value respectively. But here comes a twist. You can give the position directly like I have written. It will show an error. So for that we have to write it like this. Here dot begin is an iterator. We have to add the index to it where we want to insert the element. Like I have written +2, means it will be inserted to the 3rd index of the array. Don't forget that a vector index starts from 0. You can see at the 3rd index 15 has been successfully inserted. So this is how you can use the insert function. Now if you want to remove the last element of the vector, we can use the popback function. First the vector name, then dot, after that the popback function. If I run the program now, you can see that the last element, which is 1, is removed from the vector. That's how you can use the popback function in vector. Also, if you want to check if a vector is empty, then we can use the empty function. It returns whether a vector is empty or not. Now if I run this, you can see it is returning 0. That means the vector is not empty. As you know that 0 is false in programming. Now if I remove these pushback functions, then if I just rerun it, you can see it is returning 1. That means the vector is empty, as 1 is true in programming. That's how you can use the empty function in vector. If we want to access a specific element, we will write the vector name and then the index. Here one index refers to 6. Now if we run this, You can see it is printing 6, that is the one index, and vector index starts from 0. That's how you can access a specific element of the vector. At last, if you want to remove all elements in a vector, then you can use the clear function, first vector name and then clear function. Now if I run this program, as you can see, it will print nothing as we have used the clear function. It has removed all elements in the vector. That's how you can use the clear function.